Okay, so we've looked at already how we can push the boundaries of XTS-GFX technology in terms of the amount of mass that the system can carry. We've just covered the amount of the velocity at which we can move and the acceleration we can achieve with the new Agile mover. So our next topic is to look at track management system. The 3,000 systems that you heard about earlier that are in existence at the minute are all single track systems. And we need to essentially get around that limitation. But why would we want to do that, Alec?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great challenge. And why would you want to switch between tracks? Now, fundamentally, what this means is that we don't have to remove the product from the mover, which is incredibly crucial in some applications. All of this has been, as always, customer driven, hasn't it, Chris?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, effectively you can transfer a mover from one XTS track system to another without it actually leaving a single process line. So this means that we could, for instance, take the mover to a rework station, maybe offline inspection, maybe a complete zero maintenance system where you can just swap out movers and never have to stop. How about that?
That would be incredibly good, yes.
So there are lots of applications, but effectively what you can do is you're removing the need for a separate robot or a pick and place system to transfer product from one line to another. It's all done by this incredibly clever track management system. Chris, how does it actually work?
So essentially you still use the same twin cat technology. We have a second set of function blocks that allow you to identify in a track management system where a mover actually is. Fundamentally, XTS is a collection of, as you were told earlier, servo motor sections that are connected together to make a track. Each one of those is connected by an EtherCAT network, and we define each of those networks as a part in this track management system. And what we can then do is assign those parts to a particular track. So, for example, completing a circuit by moving a mover module up and down in between the tracks, we can then define that as track 1. When a second unit is moved in there, we can define that as track 2. And all we really do then is essentially tell the mover where it is on each one of those tracks at any particular given moment, depending on where the switch is positioned on the system, which is a HepCo creation on the system behind us.
Yeah, and you know, that in itself hasn't been easy, because to switch from one track to another and keep it pretty much seamless, we need to be able to shuttle the track management switch system within microns, effectively. If we're out by more than sort of 5 microns or so, it's going to sound like a nasty old clunky train track. So we use a clever sort of ball screw driven system with a servo motor that's connected to your drives and controls, and a linear encoder which allows for thermal compensation as well. So as the ambient temperature changes, or the temperature that the XTS generates, it all compensates for that and means that we get very, very repeatable switching over millions of cycles.
And are we limited to a single motor module on those switches, or can we go bigger?
So yeah, in terms of the modules, the example we've got behind us is a single motor example switching between just 2 levels. We can go up to 2 motor modules, and you could go 3, 4 plus levels in terms of the switch. Now, the only thing to bear in mind is the longer your travel distance, that does slow down the transfer time. But something like this, you could be looking at switching in 0.4 seconds.
But of course, that would then, if you had multiple switches, allow you to do some sort of accumulation application as well. So it would allow you to gather your parts together off the main track, so your main process can continue, but actually hold product in a particular place if it needs to be, say, reworked, or if it needs to go back to a previous station, for example.
Yeah, so this is, again, as Chris said, really sort of pushing the boundaries of XTS-GFX, and is pretty much ready to go in terms of applications.